Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Realm of Fries podcast, episode number 13. I am your host, as always, Five Large Fries, and joining me, as always, is a very, very hungover Mr. Flatline Plays.
Good morning or good afternoon.
It's one of the two. And of course, as always, the very handsome Inferno Rouge 8D.
Oh, fucking hell, no one's called me handsome, but thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much.
I'm not going to ask you how you're doing, Flat, because we already know what your answer's going to be, but I'm going to ask you anyway. How are you feeling? Touche.
I'm right, actually, mate. I could be worse. I just can't stop hiccuping today. I've got issues. Oh, there you go again.
Oh dear.
That doesn't sound like hiccuping, but okay.
It's like, you know when you kind of like hold your own hiccups in and you kind of like stopping it from happening and it still happens? It's like weird.
You might want to stand on your head. That might get rid of it.
Stand
whole
on my
podcast.
head. That's
Yeah.
such a weird saying when people say that. Like, where am I going to get my feet on my fucking head, man? I don't get it.
You can. You just be flexible.
See,
Very flexible.
the one thing that I heard is if you like hold your breath like really hard and then like grab your nuts, that might help. But you got to squeeze them as well. Like squeeze them till it hurts.
Have a scale out of 1 to 10. How hard does the squeeze need to be?
Like a solid 7.
Ooh.
Like a stress ball.
Like a stress ball, yeah. You don't want to squeeze it too hard, otherwise it'll explode.
Yeah, otherwise you break it.
or your eyes pop out like Total Recall.
Oh fuck! Oh, why did I start this? Oh fuck!
Yeah.
No.
So I just saw that.
Right. Boys, I have something to talk about real quick. So last week I guested on the 360 Gamercast podcast.
Yes.
Ooh.
I got some feedback from my guest appearance.
Ooh.
I swear too much.
You swear too much?
I swear too much. I think I was effing and jeffing the entire time when I was on there.
What's the fucking problem with that shit?
No. It's
because you're used to us.
No, it is from someone that I know. It's a good friend. I say a good friend, someone that I know online. So a friend of mine online. And it is valid criticism. You know what I mean? Like I believe their podcast. I don't really swear that much, and for me to come on and I'm like, oh, do you mind if I swear? And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm like effing and jeffing the entire time. I think like
balance.
Yeah, the thing is, I think it was like every sentence or every other sentence there was just like fuck, shit, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I think
people take the minor one, so say instead of saying fuck, you say frick, and so it's like that's still swearing, but it's not swearing. I've toned it down a bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not swearing. It's fricking swearing.
Oh, me and you, we're gonna frick behind the bushes later.
To be fair, it's technically still swearing.
Yes and no.
It's still an offensive word.
What, frick?
Depends.
I'll be on times, man.
I had a big discussion with Mrs. about it. She was going, yeah, it is. I went, all right, I'll Google it. And I went, yes, it is, but it's not as like harmful to say frick than it is fuck.
Wow.
But yeah, so just a little feedback. So I don't know if I'm gonna like. Here's the thing. So like, I take criticism on board. I don't like. It doesn't hurt. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not like a pussy, right? But like, you know, when it's valid criticism, like, you know, like filler words using like, and you know, that's critique. Like, imagine like using like all the time, and then your entire fucking sentence is just like. But anyway,
Like
that's
what?
yeah,
Oh,
like
no,
like this.
Yeah, nah.
Nah. But so it make like it's understandable. It's critique, and it's very valid critique because I do know that I swear like a sailor, right? But I'm not gonna purposely like change like fucking doing it again like this is gonna be the fucking episode of like
when it's your own content, yes, but when it's someone else's, you do need to have that little bit of a.
I do need to hold back a little bit.
Yeah, little hold back, but don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to stop all of it. But when someone says, "Yeah, you do elsewhere," they're probably just saying, just try and restrain yourself a bit.
Yeah, saying you're allowed to
Not
swear.
too much, but
Don't mean to swear every sentence, for fuck's sake.
this is why I'm good for this one, because I don't think before I speak. So whatever comes out is what's coming out. You got no holds with that shit.
Same.
I've got no issues with swearing. This is listed as an explicit podcast, so doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if we.
It's got its place swearing. It has. It's got
Yeah.
its place to emphasize, a meaning or something like that. As long as it's used right, swearing, it can be, nothing wrong with it.
I use them as
My
sentence enhancers.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly it. I can't fucking speak.
I just do one word outburst. Depending on what games I'm playing.
Every time I go to speak, I have a hiccup. I'm just gonna go quiet for a little while.
I will make a mental note of and keep it in check about the swearing though, because it's very valid critique and nobody really wants to hear you swear every sentence.
Should we try to do a full clean podcast?
Oh my god, that would be a challenge. That would be a challenge.
That'd be hard, and we have to do a proper subject list on something that's going to test us.
See, this is the thing. If I was planning on doing a charity event, also I need to stop saying now that it's in my head, I'm just saying it loads and loads and loads. But for a charity event, it would make sense for my thing to be every time I swear I donate £1. And then I'd have to listen to the entire podcast and find every moment I swear, add it all up, and then donate that. That's if I plan on doing a charity thing. I don't plan on doing a charity thing because I'm a stingy cunt. No, I do donate to charity. But I do.
Yeah, I know you do.
But
we do it all the time without realising. Like when you go to a shop or something, you get that extra change, don't you? You just put it in charity thing. You just say, yeah, I don't want that money. Slowly builds up over the year.
I mean, there is that. I mean, in my previous job, they had this pledge that you can do where you can donate an X amount of your money to a certain charity. So I chose cancer research because cancer sucks. Cancer sucks. And it's funny because many years later, because I did this pretty much when I first started, right? And about not even 10 years later, when I was still there was someone coming in doing this whole oh, would you like to donate X amount of your money to charity from your paycheck, right? And they were sat around in the canteen trying to get people to sign up. And I said, yeah, I already do it. And they're like, oh yeah, it says they're all this. And they said, did you not get a thank you letter? I'm like, there was a thank you letter?
you probably got lost in the post.
Probably. But
if they send it to you, if they send it to your work, it could just be easily lost in somewhere.
Yeah, but to be honest, I didn't really give a shit about the it wasn't for the reward. It was for the fact of putting money to a cause that could help. You know what I mean?
Of course.
I don't give a shit about no letter. It's giving an absolute shit about a thank you letter for donating to charity is at that point you're pretty much doing it for the vanity in a way. It's oh, look at me, I'm donating to charity. Oh, I'm such a good person. It's
reminds me of that Friends episode, mate, where what is it? Phoebe's trying to give a selfless act of kindness, and she just finds it really hard because every time she gives to charity or anything like that, it's always to help make herself feel better or anything. So she finds it really hard to. You guys not remember that episode?
I'd never watched Friends.
You've never watched Friends?
Nice.
There's a lot of episodes flat to remember.
There is, mate.
It's like Big Bang Theory, that thing. That show is shit. Don't watch
Never
it.
Watched it.
Shit.
No, I'm not gonna.
I only watched the first 3 seasons, and then I just lost interest in it. It got a bit too it was all right, but it was just
If you watch on YouTube clips of that show, but without the laugh track on top, you'll see how unfunny it is. Some of the jokes will be hey Penny, and then they're laughing. It's like, yeah.
Oh, my voice went when I said that.
Or it'll be like jokes like this. It's like, oh, I'm just about to take out the trash, and then someone will turn around and go, that's not the only trash I need to take it out.
They'll just start fucking like, yeah, it's really corny, mate. It's
Like-
not great, is it?
You want me
Nah,
to-
some of the jokes are terrible, man.
Is that what
I
I'm
watched
doing
5
wrong?
minutes. That
I
was
mean,
enough
get
for me.
soundboard out with some like clapping applause for our jokes.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I should. But for this podcast, like any joke that we make, I'll just have an audience track of people laughing.
Yeah, just just go ha ha ha.
Oh my god. But yeah, that was so yeah, basically. Big Bang Theory is garbage show. Don't watch it, but
It's a lot of TV I just don't watch nowadays. So
TV
I really...
series I like the best.
go on.
One of my favourites, Chuck.
See, I've never watched that.
If you
Chuck?
want to watch it, yeah, Chuck.
Never heard of it, dude.
I've got them all on DVD because I'm a nerd.
Did they air this on like E4 at some point?
Yeah, it's like I used to like watch it online just because Americans always had it like a month in advance. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I just like it because it's funny. It's got a good storyline. The ending, I was like, oh. It made you cry. It made me cry.
Oh, if you're looking for a show that'll make you cry, if you've got Netflix, Derek. It's the Ricky Gervais one. So he plays I believe he's like an autistic like care worker, but he's like a volunteer like care worker in like an old people's home. And like it's funny, but then it hits you with like the feels like immediately after kind of thing. It's like you wouldn't have thought the way like because the way he portrays himself is very like the character is very autistic, right? So it's like you look at him and you know that there's like not to use the term because to be politically correct, you know what I mean. But so he plays character and he's like looking after like the elderly people there, and then there's an episode where like like one of his like favorite friends or like favorite like care like people that he's caring for like passes away, and he like to watch him like get really emotional about that is like fuck, hits you in the feels. And then there's another one where he's they have like these dogs come in like when they have like the care, it's not like a care dog, but you know what I mean, like the ones where the I don't know words,
Distance dog or
something like that. Yeah. They bring like a bunch of
Okay.
dogs in and stuff, and there's one of the dogs that was like his favorite one, and that had to be put down, and like watching that was just like fuck, man.
Wait,
It's like,
what kind of programs do you guys watch? I mean, I sit there and watch things like Archer and shit like that just because it's funny, but I don't watch much serious programming. Rarely.
It's not no. Some are not serious. It just depends on what mindset you're in at the time. If you get heavily involved in the series, you feel for the characters.
true.
That's where you get your connections.
What I will say is I watch this because like I really enjoy the content that Ricky Gervais puts out. Like I think he's like I think his style of comedy, his style of like acting as well is really enjoyable to watch. I know, different strokes for different people and stuff, but I when I watched this, I went into it assuming it was like a comedy, and it ended up being it was and it wasn't. And there's a show that I really want to watch. I think it's called Afterlife. Is another one that he's done, and that's really like meant to be.
That's an old film, isn't it?
Might
That
be.
film?
There's I think he had a series. I think there's a Netflix series as well.
Yeah,
Afterlife. I think that's the one where then he starts seeing all the dead people, and he has to help him like progress to their like final place. Is that the one?
Fuck knows, mate. I've never seen it. I'm not gonna lie.
I think it's a series that you're on about. I've seen it advertised.
But this one's about like it's about him, and like I think his mum passes away or something, and his dad has Alzheimer's and stuff. And that one's another like funny but also sad kind of thing. I don't know what you would call those.
You guys watch some really fucking nice things, don't you?
I just say, just watch Chuck because it's funny, and also there's so many celebrities that get into it, like in the later seasons. But yeah, give it a try. There's 5 seasons. It'll probably take you like 3 months to watch it all.
I'll watch it if you watch Archer, man.
I will watch Archer. That's on my fucking.
I've seen all of Archers.
Oh, good.
I've never seen Archer, so I'll add it to my watch list.
Oh, mate, you've got to. You've got to.
But what I will
I mean, to
say,
be fair,
so
even Bob's Burgers is all right. It's quite chilled, but you know, it's
no,
one that
I
misses
didn't
don't
really
mind
like
too
Bob
much.
Burgers.
It's more
I like
down to
Bill's
earth.
Burgers.
Archer's just
Archer's more
Archer's
funny. Bob's Burgers is more like down to earth, a bit more realistic.
Right. Okay. So if you're looking for funny shows, I don't know if have you ever watched Community?
No, I've heard good things about it.
Community is hilarious.
Yeah.
I've been watching that again, and I fucking love it, man. Fucking love it. It's got Chevy Chase in it, and need I say more? Need I say more? It's fucking brilliant. So funny. There's what else is there that I watched that was funny on there? You got Community. You got oh god, the name escapes me. Parks and Recreation's pretty good to go for another comedy. If you've ever watched that.
hit and miss on some of the episodes though.
True. But then you can say that about a lot of episodes, a lot of series as well. A final one that I will say is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like from season 2, that show is amazing. Season 1's a bit meh, but season 2 onwards, that's when it has Danny DeVito in, and it's just so funny. He
I've heard good things about that as well, but yeah, I never got around to trying it.
Yeah, Danny DeVito like carried that series. I'm not gonna lie. So funny. Anytime he's in it, it's just comedy gold, man.
When they like hired him, it was only meant to be a small part.
Yeah.
Hey. Oh shit.
Oh
Damn.
god, the dad jokes are out.
But I tell you what, speaking of stuff that's I was about to how can I segue into this being a joke? I was about to say, speaking of jokes, VRchat.
Can be.
Oh, that VRchat can be a right laugh, and I love going on there because it's the whole social side of things. You have different games on there. I think have we spoken about this on the podcast before? I think we might have done very early on.
I think we dabbled on a little bit.
Yeah.
I haven't been on it for ages. I don't know. I know there's been quite a few updates since I've been on it.
Yeah,
I didn't read any of the notes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't been on there for a little while. I mean, I occasionally go on like on a Friday, you know, if I'm feeling up for it. Other than that, I probably don't touch it. Mainly because like the last few months were just like so embroiled in like drama, and you don't want to be dealing with that. You know what I mean? I mean, like, and when I say
fun, aren't you?
yeah, and when I say drama, I mean like it's like playground shit, like real playground shit. And I'm just like looking at everything going down. I'm like, why? It's like it's a social thing. You come on here for fun. You come on here to enjoy time with your friends. Like you don't need to fucking worry about like all this bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what they need to do on there? Sometimes when it gets like a playground-ish, like you said, people just need to go there. Go, breathe in, breathe out, and then they just realise like what they're doing is just being, you know what I mean? They just need to take a step back and just see what they're doing, and be like, oh yeah.
I think the problem is a lot of the majority of the people that play that are below. I would even say below like 25. I would say, and I still don't think a lot of people mature even below then. Like, I know for a fact that I certainly did a lot more maturing past 25. Again, this is going from personal experience. This isn't like I guess I did start off as a general assumption, but it's not meant to be a general assumption. From my personal experience, I didn't really start maturing properly until I was like, I would say even to the point of like being like 28. That's when I started noticing that I had pubes.
Just like, what the fuck is this? I have 2.
I was like, there's 2 of them down there. What's this one? And I'm like, oh, that's a hair. Ooh.
You get the Turbo Man thing. You go, I got 2.
But no, in terms of like your mental state and how you perceive like the world and stuff, like I think like a lot of the time, I feel like when I was of a younger age, I saw things in a less mature way. So obviously, I probably would have acted a lot more
Easy.
immature.
Yeah,
Whereas,
easily
like,
persuaded with like
yeah,
stuff.
like following trends and stuff like that. Like, it's like there's a trend. Like everyone's saying, "Oh, Game of Thrones is amazing. You should watch it," and then you watch it because everyone's watching it. And
I
even
can
if it's
go
not
on
your,
with that.
go
Still not
on.
watched it.
No, I'm not gonna watch it. I
I've still not
refuse.
watched it.
Regardless, as an example,
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. Oh yeah, watch it, and you got everyone like around you going, "Watch it, it's amazing, it's amazing." And then you watch it, it's not your cup of tea, but you say it's amazing anyway. Like, following trends like that, like wearing clothes because it's trendy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's
Well,
rather than
I've
being
got a good
unique.
trend one.
Yeah,
Say,
peer pressure hits you a lot less as you get older
Did any
because
of
you
you
just
boys
care
own
less.
a tie-dye dragon like shirt back in the day?
oh my god,
You know, it's the same as I used to look at, like, when we were younger, I used to look at people that are over 70 or whatever, and I was like, how do you, they just don't give a shit. And I'm like, why do they not give a shit? And I'm like, as I'm getting older, I'm like, oh shit, I'm starting to give it less of a shit. So, like, I realize now, like, it's just, you just don't care about peer pressure as you get older. It is what it is. I hate that saying, but it is, you know what I mean?
is what it is.
I learned that quite early. I never
Yeah,
should
peer
give a shit.
pressure. Yeah, just no, man. I am what I am.
Some people trying to bully me at college, they soon regret it.
At college.
Yeah, these people thought they were like the bee's knees. They started like picking on me, and I just went ham. I didn't actually fight. I didn't lay a finger. I gave some really good verbal words at them.
Some
and
verbal
and uh,
words.
and the good eyes. You got the eyes. Yeah, they looked at me and then that's but then they after all that like commotion, they wanted to be my friends. So I'm like, nah, fuck off. I
See,
don't want to know you.
Friend.
every time I give people the eyes, I end up making out with them.
Yeah, that's what I say. Last time you did it with me, Fries, it was a busy night.
Don't
Yeah.
tell no one.
Oh dear. But no, it's like VRchat. Like, I forgot how amazingly immersive this game is, and it is a game. Like, it's a social hub, but like it's a social game, shall we say? That sounds like it's very hard to describe the VRchat for someone who hasn't like experienced it. Now you can experience it in desktop mode, and that's fine. But to fully experience it, like, and go way in depth to the point where you're buying like trackers so that you can do full body tracking, like the amount of immersion you get in this game is just, it's unlike anything else. Like, especially in a time where a lot of people were having to quarantine and stuff like that, especially last year as well. Last year was amazing.
It popped off, didn't it?
It really did. But like, for those that have watched films, like, if you've watched Ready Player One, that's essentially what VRchat is. It's essentially Ready Player One, right? But if you haven't even seen Ready Player One, then oh my god, do your homework. That's a film to
Oh
watch.
my man, then.
I ain't even seen it, mate.
Ready Player One's a really good film.
I know what it's about and that.
Yeah.
Read about it and that, and I was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the nice thing about VRchat is like there's so many different worlds, and all the worlds are made by like different users. So you've got like, generally speaking, if you can think about like, oh, I want to go here, here, or here, chances are you can go here, here, or here, right? So there's like, you've got beach worlds, so you can go hang out on like at the beach. You've got like pubs, clubs, you've got strip clubs. Need I say more? Karaoke rooms, yeah, karaoke rooms. There's rooms where you can watch like anime and films and stuff. There's worlds where you can play golf. There's worlds you can play laser tag. There's horror games. There's like
What's
there's
that
essentially
game we played?
there's
We had to
Among
throw
Us.
this.
Sorry, The Abyss. Did you say the
this game we were playing.
Oh,
Tron.
yeah, it was like a Tron disc game where you had to like throw the discs and block the disc, like, so it was like a PvP thing, and that was really fun.
Ricochet. Was it called Ricochet? Because that
Might
was
be.
what you're talking about now, which has got jump platforms and you throw the discs at each other and you have to try and knock each other off these
This was
platforms.
just in like a cube, but you weren't allowed to go in each other's halves, and you had to
That
like
was
try and bounce off the walls and shit.
That was a mod for Half-Life 1, man, called Ricochet. I don't know if anyone remembers that.
No.
Comment on down below if you do, in the old podcast. Ricochet, man, what a classic Half-Life 1, like, crazy mod. It was actually included with Half-Life. But yeah, no one ever really played that. There's only a few people that ever did, and it was weird on
You probably think
56K.
the coding is probably off past games anyway.
Oh yeah, exactly. They've definitely taken Ricochet if they're using that and jump pads and stuff to get around, and
Yeah.
that's cool.
There's what was there
Among Us,
was
you're on.
Among Us. Yeah, there's Among Us. You can literally play Among Us in VR. It's crazy. There's like a murder mystery game where like one person's the detective, one person's like the murderer, and you got to find out who the murderer is. That one, they're always fun to play, especially when you're drunk.
They're fun to play when you've got a group and
Yep.
want to play it properly. But if you're doing a public lobby and it's just like,
But
like
this-
try and role play it a little bit. You know what I mean? To have
yeah,
a bit
exactly.
Of, like...
There's one thing that I haven't looked for, and quite frankly, it's only just come to mind now. So I'm hoping this is a world somewhere. Do you guys ever remember Gladiators? The old like contestant like versus Gladiators.
Yeah, I know Gladiators.
Yeah.
With Storm, Jet.
With Storm, you had
course.
Wolf and all that kind of stuff. So it aired on Sky One way back in the day. I don't know if they had an American version or whatever. I'm not too sure.
They
But it was
tried
cool.
to redo it, didn't they, in the 2000s, and it flopped.
Yeah, it just wasn't. But like, imagine if they had like a Gladiator like type game in there, because one of the things I've always wanted to do when I was a kid, especially when watching that show, you know, when you have like the Darth Maul type thing where there's the big fucking sponges on the side, and it was like you had to hold the thing, you had to like whack the person off with it.
Yep.
Yeah, I wanted to do that, except the only whacking off I did was on some dude's dick.
Wait.
I know what you mean. It's the Jewel. It's just called Jewel, isn't it? Jewel.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, and you're
know
standing
what I
on.
wanna do? The electrics on the roof. The figure of 8.
That's I've always wanted to do that, where you're both standing on the platform, so you can't like back up or go forward. You literally just standing there. You have to like duel like with the things. Like I've always wanted to do that as a kid. I've never done it, never experienced it, and I always,
It
I
would
hopefully
knock you off though, would it, on their programming?
on VRchat it could.
Mm,
I mean, there's
yeah.
there's a lot of Udon updates and stuff that are coming out. Like the amount of updates that they've done to VRchat recently. I mean, obviously a lot of them have broken the game and stuff like that, but a lot of them are like really cool and really interesting. And I really hope that I really hope to see VRchat keep kicking off.
It will do, won't it?
Yeah.
Before the new, with the Quest 2, that got a lot of more people
Exactly.
into half. Which class it, half body?
Yeah, so there's 3 different types of people in VRchat. You've got desktop users, and you can tell them from a mile away because like their arms are always by their sides, and they can barely animate. They have to use animations like emotes essentially.
Make it sound like they've been uploaded to the Matrix wrong, or they've been given a cheap package. Like, oh, they can
Pretty much.
breathe, they can live, but they can't move.
But to be fair, I use desktop if I want to look for a new avatar. It's just easier to crack on desktop.
100% true. 100% true. Like, so you have your desktop mode where you basically, you haven't really got much functionality in terms of like, moving your arms, your legs, all that kind of stuff. You then have half body. So half body is basically just owning a VR headset and obviously the controllers. So you have your movement of where your head is and your arms, and that's pretty much it.
You can you can crouch, can't you, to sit down? That's all you can. But
yeah,
it won't trace your hips down.
No, but then you have full body, which is what I am. So full body is owning a VR headset. You have the controllers because obviously you would have that with the headset anyway. But then you own these. They're called Valve. Oh, are they? I think they're just called Valve trackers. No, not Valve. Sorry, Vive trackers. I'm thinking Valve because Steam and the Index. So basically, they look like little hockey pucks, right? And you attach them to your hip and 2 on your feet. So obviously, the 2 on your feet like will do naturally your legs, and then your hip will obviously do your hip move, right? So you can like thrust, you can blitz, you can do all sorts. And
working.
yeah, I kind of wish that they would allow on VRchat like knee tracking, but I think
You can if you just buy some more and then just
no,
you
they
have to
only
probably
allow
get
you
it
to have
tweaked.
3. VRchat
Oh, is it
only,
only 3
yeah,
only?
yeah. VRchat only allows you to do the 2 feet and the hip. Like it must be something to do with the coding. I really believe it's probably.
Yeah, overstretch. Yeah, they don't want to.
I mean, the game uses so much resources anyway. Like whenever I'm in VR, like all you'll hear is like my computer fan. And bear in mind, I only have a 1080. I don't have like a TI or anything special like that. But all you'll hear is it just going the whole time. Just like it's just
I don't really hear it. The
it's
deafening thing on your mic on your headset don't really show like comes through on it that
nah.
bad anyway.
I mean, thankfully, I mean the index is amazing. Like the hardware on the index is so good. Like it's so for those who don't know what the index is, it's the Valve index to own the complete thing because you need the base stations. The base stations like expensive anyway. Like so when I invested, this was last year. I moved from being on the Oculus Rift. What was the Rift S? It was the I think it was the Rift
Getting
S.
downgrade on it, the Rift S. The
Yeah.
Quest 2, they were like holding all any future updates and upgrades to it, weren't they?
But yeah, so I upgraded from the Rift S to the Valve Index. At the time, like it was hard to, it was like there was an 8-week window to get like the full package. So I ended up having to buy just the headset and the controllers as like one bundle, and then I had to buy I bought the Vive base stations, which were basically 2.0s anyway. So I had to buy those separately. But the whole bundle itself, like if you wanted to get the Valve Index, would cost you $1,000. That's in pounds. So in dollars,
That's only half though. That's only half, isn't it?
that's only half of what you need because like you then need the track. Like if you wanted to go full body, you then need the hockey pucks. I'm gonna call them.
Are you
Right.
looking at another 500 maybe?
I mean, each one of these pucks, when I bought them, was about 150 quid each, and you need 3 of them.
They might have gone down to 120 now.
Might have, yeah, they might have gone down. They have actually recently released a version 2 of those, which has a longer battery life, which I was tempted to buy. I'm not going to lie, but then I'm looking at it. I'm going, I'm not in VR long enough to warrant like
How
buying
long's
them
the
now.
battery on them? 6 hours?
Nah, it's 4 hours usually.
But you think
But,
4
like,
hours is like quite
four-
a lot of time.
4 hours is a long time, especially like considering I'm barely like if I'm on there for a good session, then yeah, sure, then I need the upgrade. But like I'm not on there for like large amounts of time like I used to. So just having the regular ones that I've got now are right.
But then you could just take the trackers off on the bottom and just go half until they're fully charged.
Yeah. Because like my index controllers will last so long. I mean, they'll last like maybe even 8, 9, 10 hours sometimes.
They
Like-
just normal batteries all day
Mm-mm.
in
You got
self-rechargeable insides.
self-rechargeable insides, yeah.
Oh, so they're like a lithium like,
Ion, yeah. But what's really nice about the index, which is like you probably look at like so a lot of people like they're probably like, why would you spend like so much on the index? So the index, like visually, like you have, I think it's the only one at the time of recording, by the way, and the fact that I haven't done my research recently, it's the only headset that allowed you to do, I believe, it was 144 frames. A lot of other headsets were locked at, I think, 80 and 90. This one allows you to do 144 frames. Obviously, that takes a lot of your CPU usage and a lot of your GPU usage.
maybe the new do that.
The other interesting thing is the index controllers, which you can buy separately. So if you wanted to just buy like a Vive or something, you can then buy the index controllers separately, which is fine, and then they'll still work as intended. But the index controllers, they allow you to do finger tracking as well. So like you can do like, you know, put 2 fingers up, 3 fingers. You can do like any kind of like thing that you're doing with your hands. Like you can do that. You know, if you want to do 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink, you can do that. Right?
or
Nice.
the shocker. That's
Yeah.
a shocker, isn't it? That's a shocker. Sir.
whatever you want to call it. But you can do that, and then in certain games. So I believe in Half-Life Alyx, which I own. I've not played it because I do need to play all the other Half-Life games. That's my homework for very soon.
What? You haven't?
I don't. If
No,
you're playing the VR version, I don't
Which
think you
one?
need to play the other ones.
What
I've
haven't you played, mate?
I've been
Just, you know,
told
Half-Life's my jam.
I've been told that if I want to play Alyx, I need to play all the other ones first. Otherwise, I won't fully enjoy it. And I'm like, okay,
What?
fair enough.
What haven't you played?
Half-Life,
What? All of them?
all of them.
Oh my god, mate. Oh my god. The
Yeah,
problem is Half-Life 1 for its day was amazing, but you're replaying it now, it's good, but it's not, not got the same effect. It's one of the first games that really drove a decent story into a first-person shooter,
yeah.
and for its day was just amazing. There is an update called Black Mesa. I think it's called
Mm-hmm.
Black Mesa. That looks pretty good. I'm tempted to replay that again. But to be fair, Alex, you have to. The problem is you have to at least play two, I'd say, mate.
Yeah, I plan on going through all of those. That was like
Yeah.
my plan ages ago. I think I do have some time off in like about like 5 weeks time. So that's probably when I'm just gonna go, right, there's my Half-Life time. Boom.
Because Alex isn't in Half-Life 1,
Yeah, no.
but she is in Half-Life 2.
Yeah.
So
So I say yeah as if I fucking know. I don't fucking know.
it's such a good game, man. Gordon Freeman,
or,
his crowbar.
or you
I
could
want
just
it.
cheat the system and just watch a game review on it.
I mean, there
On
is that,
YouTube.
but then like that's defeating the purpose of playing
Yeah.
them, and
It's a no-clip documentary on Half-Life that I'd suggest to watch. It's shows why it's so special to so many people.
Mhm.
Like it's a half an hour documentary on YouTube, a no-clip documentary. It's really, really good.
Yeah. So
Really good.
what I was getting into with the Half-Life Alyx is like with the index controllers, you can like grab a can and then grip the controller like really hard, and it knows how hard you're gripping it, so it will crush the can like to how you're like basically like how hard you're gripping the controller. So if you're soft gripping it, then you're not gonna crush it as hard. But then if you're gripping it like really tight, then you might get some complaints.
Yeah, you might pop something off.
Yeah.
It's cool though, mate.
Yeah.
It's cool.
VR is
Technology's getting amazing in VR.
yeah. Now I'm not gonna say like, oh, VR is gonna be the way to go for like gaming. Like it's not. It's a niche. It's like mobile gaming, right? It has its own like unique market, and VR will always have its own unique market. It's not gonna like take over as like the be all end all.
Yeah.
But it's certainly interesting to see the advancements in that technology and the visual clarity and stuff that the games have, and it's just incredible. Like some of the experiences I've had in that game, in not in just in VRchat, but in VR in general, have been like amazing. Like Beat Saber is incredibly good. I've yet to mod that game. You can mod that so you can play any song you want, provided someone's made a beat track for it.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's so cool, but like there's nothing more badass than like feeling like a fucking Jedi essentially, smashing these like blocks to the sound of the beats, and it makes you in some of them it makes you feel like you're playing the drums because of how it is. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
really good.
People use it for exercise as well.
Oh yeah, like there's a track in there. I think it's literally just called Fitbeat, and it gets you doing like squats and side squats and all this kind of stuff. Because there's like certain like walls and stuff that will come at you, and you have to duck under them. Otherwise, like it fucks you over, and you end up like, you end up like failing, and you have to restart. But like it's like you can get so in shape with just playing Beat Saber, and you won't even know it. You'll know it because you're sweating buckets, right? But you'll it's an incredibly fun game. It's incredibly fun. Another game that I really enjoy, which I haven't played much of recently, and of recent as well, is Pavlov.
Oh, I was about to say that. You
You-
say about mods, get the custom maps on. Oh, there's so many cool maps on there.
Yeah, so the nice thing about Pavlov is like you can go into the server search, and if you don't if you don't have the map downloaded, it will just like download the map anyway from the Steam workshop.
Yeah, as long
So
as you got Steam Workshop updated, work
yeah,
from.
but like even then, like you like any map that you can like that anyone's made, you can go in. So like pretty much all
We've
the
seen it.
excuse me, all the old Call of Duty maps you can go in, all the Halo maps you can go in, and it's just so good. And some of the some of the ways people have like edited it is so good. Like I've seen like I've seen so much shit on that game, man. It's so fun. It was one of the old there was a World at War like map. It was the one based in Japan, and I remember like I think this is when like all the new World War II, World War I era like weapons came out. So it was around that update.
Oh yeah.
And I remember I'm like running around, and there's this guy in this like building, and he's like sniping from it, and he's like kicking like everyone's ass. And I literally go up to him, and I pull the pin out this grenade. I'm like, "Hey mate," because it's got like proximity chat voice and stuff like that. I literally turn around. I was like, "Oh mate, can you hold this for me?" And I put the grenade on the side and walk off, and he just explodes. It's so fun, and it's like,
I know. Yeah, we have to see. We need to get like a good like lobby going. Like I know Gibbs has got it. We need to try and get Gibbs to freaking. I think he needs a wire, doesn't he?
probably because he's struggling to do the airlink thing, right? Or is he? I'm not sure. Gibbs,
I
let us
think,
know.
to be fair, if he struggles with this PC he's got with the Airlink, I'll be bloody thingy.
Yeah, true.
Now I think I said he bought wire, but he bought. You need a 90-degree.
Yeah.
He bought a straight one.
Oh
If you have a straight
no.
one and straight in your headset, that always wants to slide out, doesn't it? So you
Yeah.
always want that 90 degrees so you can tuck it round your bands and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly,
I said to him, 14 quid, I got a 14-meter cable.
mate.
I refused to buy the official Oculus one. They wanted 80 quid
Yeah.
for
Nah.
the
Fuck that.
4 meter, if 5 meter, and I was like, nah. And I literally went £14, 14 meters. I could freaking go upstairs for toilet if I really want.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. The other thing with Pavlov, which is really fun, there was the Nuketown map from Call of Duty. Sat in the building, like in the window, sniping. Right. I have a Desert Eagle on my hip. I got a fucking Barrett 50 cal in my hand, and I'm sniping. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. You got like, because all the way you play, like the way you play Pavlov, if you've never experienced it or experienced VR in general, is like all the weapons react you have to interact with all the weapons the same in a similar manner you would in real life. So like when reloading, yeah, like say if you've just got a regular like assault rifle, for example. I have no idea what weapons are called. We live in the UK. Weapons are very few and far between. We don't have access to them, and I don't have access.
Negative.
There we go. So, say for an AK, because AKs are universal. Everyone knows what an AK is. So, like to reload the AK, you got to take the empty magazine out. You got to take a brand new magazine hip into the magazine. Then you got to chamber it with the old like cocking system thing or whatever the fuck you do with weapons, and then you're good to go. It's so cool. And then you have like a flick to change between the different firing modes as well. With the
I
Barretts.
like running around nicking people's mags.
Yeah,
Just
that
go
because
around
that's something you
the
could do.
mags
Yeah, yeah,
out.
yeah. But the one thing I was doing, so I was using the Barrett 50 cal or whatever it is, wherever it's called. It's the single shot one that you have to like pull the side, like the
Yeah,
side thing
every
out,
time,
release the
yeah.
chamber, then load the new one in, pock it back in like that. You know, like the scene from is it Saving Private Ryan where he's in the bell tower and he's like shooting and he does the thing. Yeah. So I'm doing that. So I'm like that, and then someone comes in, and while I'm still holding my Barrett 50 cal, I grab the Desert Eagle hip, and I just like pop the guy in the head. I was like, "Fuck yeah, badass!" Put the fucking Desert Eagle back, carried on sniping. I was like,
That
"Yes."
50 cal literally launches their bodies.
Oh, it does. It does.
I had the 50 on the Quest 2 at the moment. They got a beta version of Pavlov,
Right. Okay.
so the maps are limited. You don't get like the workshop and all that. It's like full wireless like app set of it. You know what I mean? So it's not like
Hmm.
fully like PC quality Pavlov. It
Yeah. Yeah.
runs fine. So I was there with a sniper, had no scope on, and I'm just like, all right, I'll just aim at this bloke down there. Popped him in the head. And you just hear everyone going, bloody hell, where the fuck did that come from? And then me come out the corner. It's just me. And then I ran away.
Nice. But Pavlov's so fun. I love Pavlov. Pavlov, VRchat, VR in general. VR in general is just an absolute crack. Like if you get the chance to own, because you can get the Quest 2. The Quest 2, you can. I'm actually gonna name drop here. Murmur actually just got back to me, Inferno, because I was telling Inferno that Murmur's recently got full body now in VR, for
Nice.
VRchat. She has the Quest 2, and then she bought 2 base stations and the 3 trackers to do the
So if you basically plug it in and use Steam VR, it still pick it up. Fair enough.
Yeah. And I think that's really cool, like the fact that, because the Quest 2 is so cheap, man, and it's so good. Like,
well, to be fair, so you're gonna be, if you go down like the Valve or the 5, you're gonna be spending about 1.5 basically. Like 1,500.
Like I'll be real with you. You like the index is a nice little novelty with the finger tracking and stuff. Not many games really utilize that anyway, so it's not a big deal. And the visual clarity on the index and the Quest 2 apparently have been compared very similar. So it's you honestly don't need
and the thing is, the battery life's going to be exactly the same.
Yeah.
So it's not actually too bad. You get like 3-4 hours on the headset, wireless.
I think like the barrier to entry, if you want to give VR a go, like the Quest 2 is definitely the way to go. Like I know you have to do the whole Facebook thing, and this is something that I really didn't like. Is
you can lock it down now, so it's only. If you're not afraid, it's not. I mean, I don't know why people think I know why it's good, because if you start being like racist or start threatening people, then that's a good like situation to nip that shit in the butt. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know that, but like, I'm very one in the fact that like I enjoy my privacy online, which is why I changed my gamer tag from what it was in the past to what it is now. Because I just don't want any like personal information about me on the internet, which funnily enough,
they can't find you on Facebook though, because even though I signed in, you can still have your own name on there.
Okay.
But they can't just go straight to your profile.
Yeah.
And you can, it's same like having Steam. So you signed in with like your email, basically.
Yeah,
Facebook.
I mean, like I feel like an email is different, because an email is you'll have that anonymity. I can't even get the word out, but you know what I mean. You're anonymous.
Yeah.
Not. I can't even say the name. You can't say the name. We all can't say the
name. Anomaly. Oh, I said that one right.
Hey. But so you have that air of privacy with with an email, a username, but you don't when you have to use like your real name for like Facebook, for example. And that's what I didn't like. But I don't have to worry about that because I'm not on an Oculus, so that, it's all well and good. So
that's why people came off the Rift S and all that lot, wasn't it? Because they were moving into making people change their accounts.
Yeah, well, I moved because I was planning on getting an index anyway. I was like,
oh yeah, you already moved before they even suggested all that.
Yeah. Like I think I moved before they even announced it. So, but like I had plans anyway. Like the idea was I wanted to get, because I got the Rift S, because the Rift S was pretty cheap anyway, and it's probably even cheaper now. Saying that, I bought that because it was a low barrier of entry and it allowed me to see if I enjoyed VR, and if I did, then I can go, okay, well, I'll take the next big step. I'll get this, that, and the other. Inferno, I see your little message. Like, that's fine. I can talk for fucking Britain, I'll tell you. Like,
I'll be right back.
Yeah. So while Inferno's going through, sorry, say again, Flat.
Inferno's run away.
Yeah, Inferno's running away because he needs to have a little tinkle. But yeah, fuck. Now I've lost my trail of thought. Fuck you, Inferno.
But yeah, like I say, I haven't had much experience in VR because I've never actually bought into it yet. But eventually, one day I will. As time goes by, it gets cheaper and gets better. So
I think flat, you're probably best like, and I think I will say this: if anyone has any sort of like, oh, I want to give VR a go, 100% get a Quest 2. Even though I don't like the whole Facebook thing, I mean, I'm probably one of many, and whatever, that's fine.
Well, I don't actually use Facebook, so would I be able to use it?
I'm not sure.
Wow.
Genuinely, I have no idea. I think you
Wow.
should be able to. You should be able to.
Because that's
Because
ridiculous if
yeah,
not. Like,
I
you
know
know what I
you.
mean? That's then again, it's the same as them making you like sign up to EA, you know what I mean, or
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Activision or something like that. But it's not quite the same. It's that extra step because it's a social profile, so it's a bit
Mm.
weird. It is a
So
bit weird.
when Inferno gets back, he can probably fill us in a little bit, because I have no idea with the Quest line of series, and obviously with the, even though I had the Oculus Rift S, like I didn't need to worry about any of that because it was not a requirement back then. Like you didn't have to worry.
Oh,
But
fair
what I
play.
but what I will say is, like, with the Rift S, apparent not the Rift S, the Quest 2, sorry, you can buy a cable, and obviously Inferno says like don't get the Oculus official one, because like you can
I
get,
need it.
yeah, you can get the unofficial ones that will do exactly the same but for a much cheaper price. Like it's just like at that point you're just going brand name, and there's just no point. Just obviously just do your due diligence.
That's the one.
There we go.
Nice.
Before you like research into like do your research into the cables and stuff, because obviously you don't want to buy one that's not good.
3.0 one. Make
Yeah,
sure it's 3.0.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you want one that
So-
you want one that charges the headset, because the headset's wireless anyway.
I
Right.
would say even the Oculus. That's what they wanted you. They tried flobbing them one off, going, "Yeah, this one charges it like really good while you're playing all that." Like, and I was like reading a load of reviews. I was asking people like on some games. Like I was doing poker. I get quite a lot of information when I play poker, because you just sat there chatting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And then someone was just going, "Yeah, you don't really get." I said they don't do anything different than the cheap ones. So I was just like, "Yeah, go and buy that."
What I will say is the VR community is generally really supportive of anyone, regardless of what they're using in terms of like their setup. Like you'll find that anyone, like in any situation, if you go to them and ask them, oh yeah, ask them a question about it, and they'll be more than happy to help you, because the more the merrier. Let's be real, right?
They probably got taught it.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
it's like hand me down information, like
Yeah,
down generations.
and it's like, why would you keep information like that to yourself? And when you can help someone get more enjoyment out of their out of their equipment. But what
I
it will,
would say, yeah,
oh,
VR chat when you're in VR, like doing like golf and that lot, and you're just like, even on half VR, when you can just like pick your golf club up and then you can lower yourself down, like bending and just getting that right little groove, you like, yeah, it gets you submerged.
yeah, exactly. I'm actually gonna look now, just because curiosity getting the better of me. Okay, so the Quest 2, you can get the 128 all in.
300,
Yeah, it's 299.
and then 400 for the bigger gig. But if you're going into your PC with it anyway, that's what when I bought the cheap one, because I was like, I don't need the storage because I'm going to be plugging it in anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you can. So I'm looking at this. In fact, saying that, featured from our brand. Okay, there's a 3-meter Quest 2 cable you can buy for $16.99. It's fast charging and 5 gigabits of data, USB 3 to USB C, 90-degree angle, all that kind of jazz. So yeah, you can basically for £320 get a very decent entry point for VR for PC. And I think if anybody
A lot
has,
cheaper.
yeah, it's so much cheaper than going, oh, I'll give VR a go, I'll get an Index, you know what I mean? And or how much are Vive's going
Five.
for?
I think five's basic about 500-600. I think. If last time I saw, I don't know if they've gone down, but I know they're bringing in the next version up soon, aren't they? Or was that already out?
There's a Vive Pro, yeah, the Vive Pro 2 apparently is it's just the headset is £718. That can't be right.
It's meant to be compared with the Index, though, isn't it?
Yeah. So the Vive Cosmos and all that kind of stuff is like £600. Like so for the Vive, which is still a really good headset, is like 6, 7, like £100 just as a barrier of entry. So why would you pay that much when you can pay like 320 basically, which is half the price of that pretty much. In
You just
fact,
don't get finger tracking. That's the only difference.
I mean, you do get
in
finger
the
tracking in a sense because, like, obviously all the buttons will count as your finger tracking in terms of thing.
It's
But
your thumb and index you can move on Quest
yeah,
2.
but like with that being said, like you'll see like the controllers and stuff. Like yeah, like the only thing that the index has is obviously the finger tracking. But like that's like if you really want to be really niche, a lot of stuff doesn't use finger tracking anyway. The only game I've seen really that uses it like is VRchat because you can do each individual finger. So it's really a niche novelty, the tracking. So realistically, if you're genuinely interested in getting into VR, just giving it a go, I would highly recommend, even though I don't own it, which is funny, is the Quest 2 and like one of the cables that you can get for like 20 quid. You might even be able to get it for cheaper than that. But so you're looking for roughly a £320 barrier of entry for something which is actually amazing, and you'll probably end up spending most of your life in this VR thing because that's how fucking amazing it is.
Well, to be fair, I was on desktop for like a month. I was at 2 months, maybe 2 months. And then when I went to VR, and then you literally stood in a room that you have been looking on the monitor, and you were just in the room looking up, going, "It's fucking bigger than what I thought it was gonna be."
Mm-hmm. Because you don't get that
sense of scale in VR.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't get that sense of scale when you're in VR, like because like when you watch someone that's playing VR, you're seeing the 2D version of what they're seeing, and you're like, oh, okay, fair enough. Like, and I think this is where a lot of people don't make the connection. Is like especially for me, like I genuinely thought like VR would be like, okay, you're strapping a fucking monitor to your head, right? And I thought that's all it was, but it really isn't. Like you have like a sense of oh, you have like a sense of scale in the actual game itself. So like you have like the depth, you have like it's like looking around your room right now, like and you're looking at stuff and you go, oh, I can reach out and pick that up. You have that same feeling in VR, right?
Yeah, the sounds are really good in VR.
Mm.
The proximity sounds they do in it, it's like on point.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just crazy. It's crazy good. Brilliant.
We do a scary map thing, yeah.
Say again.
We get to a scary horror map.
Oh no! I've done it once before. Like, actually, I don't know if you were there for it. Like,
Or should we do Pavlov in VR?
Pavlov in VR is amazing, but like, I wouldn't be able to stream it or anything because my computer would like cry. Like, why are you doing this to me? But
Yeah, I don't know, but you've done VRchat, but I think VRchat sometimes is more
depends on the world,
strengthening.
right? Depends on the world.
And how many avatars are in there depends
Yeah.
on how. It'd be like you go, can everyone bring avatars? But it has to be green ticked only. I don't want no like super like red avatars that are like beyond what the game should be.
Man, I love VRchat. VRchat's so good. But Flat, you said yesterday when you were streaming yesterday, and you said that you had something to talk about on the stream. So, talk about it like on the stream. Do you remember what it was? Or
I am quite hungover, so I'm trying to think. I'm like literally racking my brain.
He's sleeping.
Oh,
I was drinking last night on the stream on there. It's not a very not a very good thing for me. Well, I just don't do it very often on stream, so it was a good laugh to be fair. But I think maybe I was talking about the PlayStation 5 revision.
Yes. That's it. Yeah.
Roger that, mate. Yeah, because like I heard that they were making a new PlayStation 5, right? Which, fair enough. And they said they're not going to change anything. It's just because of the semiconductor shortage or whatever. And I'm like, okay, it kind of makes sense, And they've released this now. Obviously, it's out in Japan. People have picked it up in US and managed to take it apart and look at it next to the old one, or the original PlayStation 5. And they've realised that obviously it weighs less, and the reason why is because they've just taken a load of the heatsink out. It really seems like they've taken out about 30% of the heatsink or so.
Wow.
Now, looking at that, They're literally, it's gone a lot. Well, it's not a lot hotter, but it's at least like 4 or 5 degrees hotter when just playing for a little while. So I wonder what that's going to do in the long run. But
You not
obviously,
seen
then
the picture of them yet, flat next to each other?
yes, mate. Yeah, I watched a video on it. It's ridiculous, isn't it? It looks so different. I was surprised, you know?
That's crazy. Like to think that I mean, they are going to get away with it because people are going to, you know what I mean?
People are still going to buy, of course.
Yeah.
And they wonder why they have freaking cooling issues like the PS4.
Yeah, I just wonder if it's going to work in the long run because to me that just doesn't sound sensible in any way. But I mean, obviously you'd think they know what they're doing, but what the hell, man? I mean, now they're making a profit on each console sold, so you see why they've done it. But are they going to stitch themselves up in the long run? I mean, who's going to want to buy the new one when the old one's just better for the same in price? You know, seriously, like that's the point. Like, if I was buying a PC, like a decent like heatsink for my PC, I'm not going to buy one, the new version that's 30% less
The problem
effective
you got now is,
for the
yeah,
same
you want to
price.
get an old one, but then you got the sharks out there who already got them, and they're going to bump the prices of the originals because people probably want a decent one that probably runs cooler,
So true.
I mean,
lasts longer.
most people aren't going to know the difference though. Most random Joes or like, you know, someone who wants it for Christmas, the mum goes out and gets it, ain't going to know any different.
To be fair,
So
yeah,
90%
Christmas
of
is coming
people.
around, so they're like, "Oh, what can we do? We'll flub it off."
I mean,
And then even drop the price in. If you're not being funny, if you do that, you better drop the price by 50 quid.
yeah, they haven't. That's the thing, and it's just confusing. It just seems like they're dropping the ball at the moment, doing stupid things like charging £70 for most games, while you know, on the other side, Microsoft are giving away Game Pass and just literally chucking games at you for a tenner a month. It just doesn't make sense. Some of their questionable decisions at the moment. We've got to watch and see how it plays out. Obviously, they like I say, obviously they've tested this, and obviously they think it works. But I mean, obviously they haven't tested it over years of use. This is when it's gonna, you know, because a lot of people's consoles. Let's be honest, the
They
average
can
Joe
stress test.
doesn't look after it.
They can stress test it like mad anyway.
Yeah,
Test
but I
them.
mean, like the average Joe just doesn't look after their console that well. Dust gets in, crap sits inside. You know what I mean? Like they don't
Well, that was the
keep it in a well
PS4's
ventilated
problem, wasn't
area.
it?
Hey,
Yeah,
They didn't have enough room to let like the dust go in and out. It used to go in, but where they compacted it far too much on the PS4, that's why I used to collect, isn't it?
I'll have you
yeah.
know, my
So,
name's not Joe. It's Fries.
so
I mean,
what do you guys reckon of that?
I
Do you
think
reckon, like,
I think
crazy?
it's wild. Like everyone knows that there was the semiconductor shortage, but it's not a fucking copper insulation or whatever the fuck it is shortage. Like
That yeah, exactly. Good point, man. There's no like they said, you know, semiconductors. There's no extra semi or
It's
less
different.
semiconductors in this. It's exactly the same.
It's just like, and also they're using different metal grades because you look at the pictures compared to each other, they're not the same freaking metal or whatever they
I
use. You
think
know what I mean?
I think the old one's got a lot more copper in it, and copper's just a lot better for transferring heat. Um, obviously more expensive though. So
Well, they're using Ali now.
damn. Oh,
I just
oh.
didn't expect them to make it worse quicker. And I mean, genuinely, there's no scenario where it isn't worse. I mean, it may work the same, it may work fine, but it is going to be a little bit hotter, so it's worse.
Who's
Simple
actually
as that.
winning on the price difference at the moment then? Or how many buys of each yet? The PS5 winning it still?
Fuck no.
Consoles sold, PS5 have definitely got more sold at the moment.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely got more sold. But Xbox is going to be catching up, I think. Doing things like they're doing at the moment.
I mean, they're destroying my favorite game. Halo. It's gonna be bad. I got a horrible gut feeling it's gonna be bad because it feels like they really wanted to get it out this year, like because it's what the 20th anniversary or 30th, 20 or 25th. I think it's 20. Wow, is it really? Am I really that bad? I don't find out. I have to find this out now because I Halo and what is it? 20 years? Oh no, it doesn't actually play.
I don't think Halo's gonna be bad, mate.
So yeah, 2 mil for the Xbox and 4.2 to 4.5 mil for the PS5s.
Thing is, Microsoft aren't coming out with their numbers, are they? So it's never a good sign. But at the end, they know
There's
they've
been
got
more
at least.
shortages on the Xbox.
Yeah, they
Like,
produced the Xbox later because obviously they took an extra 6 months producing it, so they were like 4 to 6 months behind of actually making
Okay,
it in the factories.
I figured it out. Sorry, I kind of like blanked everything out. I was tunnel visioning this research. There's 20 years of Halo this year. So it's 20. It's the 20-year anniversary for Halo's birth, essentially. And they want it's clear as day that they want to get Halo Infinite out to celebrate that, right? Clear as day. There's no other reason why they would delay it even to because it's December 8th that they've said that it's coming out, right? I don't think it's going to be ready, considering considering
the
they wanted
multiplayer
to.
will be.
I mean, the multiplayer, yeah, sure, but there's probably still going to be some real horrific bugs in that. Uh, but it's it's the fact that it was due to come out last year, November of last year, and if they were prepared until like everyone like chimed in, oh, Halo Craig, it doesn't look that good. It looks like a 360 game. Ooh. Right? If people didn't like chime in with that, they probably wouldn't have delayed it. So they were prepared to basically release this game in a really shoddy condition. Like I genuinely think like the fact that they're saying that like co-op, which is like the main staple of like Halo, like that's been in there since like Halo 1, right? Halo Combat Evolved had co-op, right? Granted, it was probably couch co-op, so split screen, but it had co-op nonetheless. And then you have like them coming out now saying that like, oh, it's not gonna have co-op, it's not gonna have this isn't gonna be in it ready for the game. Like, come on, stop fucking with my fucking franchise now. Like, I say
You're genuinely worried about this, aren't you? I think it's going to be all right, mate.
I'm genuinely worried. Like, I've given them
I think
benefit of
it
the doubt.
shouldn't be all right, should it? Because if
It,
they've had quite a few years trying to
it
get this done, haven't they?
I mean, you've hit the nail on the head there, Inferno. Like you don't want to settle for all right. It can't just be all right. It has to be fucking. It has to be mind-blowingly amazing, right? It has to be amazing. Like this has to be amazing. Like that. The reason why is because like if this is not amazing, like that is going to be the end of Halo. Like it really will be. Like and it it pains me to say this because I love Halo. Like I am an absolute fanboy for Halo. Like when from being first introduced to it, like to my friends when they first introduced it to me with playing it like split screen and all that kind of stuff. I loved it. I really loved it. Now bearing in mind I was shit at it and I still am shit at it, but I still love it regardless. And it just holds dear to me. There's just so many memories I've had with that game. Like like I've even attended through Microsoft. So Microsoft invited me to go the Master Chief Collection launch. Like, that's a huge fucking like memory for me. Like, you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
like you know what I mean? Like how many people can say like, oh, Microsoft
An invite from Microsoft.
exactly to go and attend the launch of a game that you hold so dear to your heart. You know what I mean? Now, bearing in mind, 343 also fucked the Master Chief Collection up at launch as well, and it took them fucking months to get that shit fixed. But that's besides the point. Like the Master Chief Collection has like 1, 2, 3, and 4. It has ODST. It has Reach. Like, it has all the games now that you want to play, and there's still bugs. Don't get me wrong, but like it's not like game breaking like it was when it launched. But like that alone kind of like should make you realize that are they really going to like is this game going to deliver? Is it going to like make people believe in Halo again? I fear the worst. I really do. I hope I'm wrong. I will genuinely be happy if I'm wrong. I will be genuinely happy if I'm wrong, but I can't see myself being wrong. I
They're
think
going to get a player base because of the free multiplayer anyway.
Yeah, going to get a huge player base from it.
Like it's gonna have a player base, like you say, because it's free. The multiplayer is free to play, but it's the story. Like I'm heavily invested in the story. Like I really want to know what happens after 5, even though 5 was like wasn't that good. Like it's like if you ignore like the marketing campaign, and I like the marketing campaign, like I think soiled my experience for 5. I think if I go through and play it now, I think I'll probably really enjoy it. But like because quite frankly, I've forgotten the marketing campaign completely. But all I know is that they marketed like one story and gave you another. I think I described this in a previous podcast where I said it's like you watch an advertisement for a film and it's all like Disney-esque, and you're like, oh yeah, this is really good, and you go and watch it, and it's an absolute fucking horror, and it's like, well, this isn't what I signed up for. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And that's what they did with 5, and that's why, like, I think for the most part, like, people didn't enjoy it because of that, and naturally, like, people like to shit on 343, and I don't understand. Like, I understand their concerns and that, but I think it's what we talked about, like at the beginning, where like people will follow a trend, and the quote unquote trend is to shit on 343, and I think that's unfair. Like you know, and grant, yeah, you have your concerns. Like me, I have my concerns with Halo Infinite. The fact that they were willing to send it out without, and even now they're willing to send it out with one of the core features that, I mean, quite frankly, I mean, I would have played co-op with one of you boys most likely. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
If it's like, yeah, but you said what earlier. If they're trying to get it on a 10-year anniversary on the date they released it the first time ever, then they have to release something.
That's what I fear. Like, because you think about it, December is like, I mean, well, it's the last month, right? So like, if they want to release it like this year to commemorate the 20-year anniversary, like the latest they can release it is December. And the fact that everybody was like hinting, oh, it's going to be a November release because that's when Halo first come out and all that, and that would be the exact 20-year anniversary. And the rumor mill was like really sort of anteing up, and like anti-up's probably the wrong phrase, but they were like pumping up and hyping up the fact that it's going to be a November release. The fact that they've come out and said it is December, that also to me makes me think, well, they want extra time to polish the game because they can still polish it in November, right? But once the game comes out in December 8th, like, sure, they can polish it afterwards, but that's when everyone has their hands on it. That's when
Yeah, it's important. That's when the reviews hit.
Mm-hmm.
That's the important time. The first few weeks, it is important. They can fix it, you're right. But if there's too many little things or any major things, it will hurt it. Little bugs, yeah, most people can go, right, they'll fix that, but major bugs, no.
I reckon there's going to be major bugs, and I reckon there's going to be a game baking bug.
Game baking brug.
I always say it because I get my tongues tied. As if
You
I've
got more
got
than
to.
one tongue?
I was just about to say as
It
if
is
I've got
best.
to.
Mate, you're fucking
A
on it.
game breaking bug. I reckon there will be one of those in the campaign. Like, I really do. I think there'll be a point because it looks like they're trying to go down a route that Halo's never done before, which is interesting. So I'm genuinely intrigued by it, but I genuinely also believe, because of the fact that they're wanting to release it last year, and then blah, everything that we've just covered, and the fact that they're trying something new. I think somewhere in there's going to be a bug that either stops you from progressing until they fix it, or it's just gonna like just break the game in such a way where it's like, you just cannot progress. It'll be or worst case scenario is they have it as an always online thing because they tag it along with the multiplayer, and you get this instance where you have to play it online even though it's a single player campaign, and then you have server issues which causes it to well, do an Outriders basically.
You got some serious worries on the go, ain't you, for this?
I really do.
I can tell.
I really do, and it
Time
hurts.
will tell.
I mean, it hurts to say because I'm probably like the biggest Halo fanboy you'll ever see. I mean, both in size and fucking size.
Oi.
Wee. But yeah, I hope it's not bad. Like
We'll see, mate. Like you say, time will tell, but
Yeah.
it's not that long now, is it?
A couple of months. I mean, we're September now, aren't we? So we've
Got
got
a couple of games in between. You got Battlefield, a bit of Forza.
mate. I think Battlefield's gonna be amazing. By the way, I've seen some of the gameplay that's come out of it already, and it looks very similar to 4. Obviously, with like different styles of play. So what I've seen, by the way, which is really cool, is like there was the guy was running and like he was equipping like attachments on the fly, which
Like
I
a
think
remote wheel as well, which is cool.
yeah. So it was like he was running towards like an objective, and it was like he was attaching like a red dot sight. He was attaching a suppressor and a grip and stuff. I'm like, damn. And then he was taking stuff off after the engagement. I'm like, that's so cool.
Which is good because then you can each situation's different. Where before on a battlefield you used to have your loadout and you were never allowed to change it until you died. You know what I mean?
I mean, like
Yeah.
you're right. And how many times have you been like playing? Like how many times have you played Battlefield, and you've gotten into a close engagement, but you've had your equipment set up for a medium engagement, so you've got like a 4x for. How many times have you gotten into that situation where you're like, I wish I could just take the scope off?
It'd be nice to like, yeah, it'd be nice to like, yeah, have a bit of like
Especially
variation, which they've done.
especially if you're going towards like an objective which is in a building, and you instantly know that that building's going to be close quarters. You're not going to be engaging from like medium to long range. So you're like, oh, okay, I've got like my gun's currently set up for medium like to long range. So it's like, okay, now I need to go close quarters, so I need to change like the scope. I need to put a suppressor on, stuff like that. I think this is going to be like the multiplayer game that everyone goes
I
to.
do like it where you can't have like a sniper rifle and an assault rifle.
Yeah,
I
I
still
love
like
that.
that.
Yeah,
But it just if you do it just be too OP if you could have assault rifle and thing because all you do it will turn to snipers and then when people get closer they just switch to the AR and go bah, 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 bah.
Yeah, everybody will be the same. It won't work like that.
I mean, it's the class-based system that I really enjoyed from Battlefield. Having a medic, having an assault, having like your sniper, your support.
I used
Like,
to C4. I used to support a C4 all the time with it, so I always used to have that. And then you get your freaking support guides that re-ammo you. You just plow the whole building with C4, wait for a whole enemy team to go in there, you blow the fuck out of it.
yeah, exactly. But I'm at man. And then you got this like it's called like a portal system or something. I'm not sure how it works yet. I haven't done again. I've not really done much research on it. Like I just want to be surprised when it comes out, right? Uh, but there's like you can play like different maps from previous games and like different weapons from like previous games. So you got like World War II era stuff and World War II era tanks and that kind of stuff. I think, man, this is gonna be so good. I can't wait.
It's only a month. And the beta's
In the
meant to be
beta,
out soon, it? I don't know
yeah.
when.
I'm
I
saying
thought it's this month. They said they tried to get it beginning. I think it might be today or tomorrow it starts. I'm not too sure. Let me go.
it's to
Free
start off with for those who
beta.
bought it, isn't it? And then it'll
I have no.
yeah,
Well, I know
those that bought it.
Gibbs refunded because he's trying to get the big one at the moment.
Really?
Oh, they've changed it. Oh, that's early access. Oh, so if you pre-order, you want to pre-order like a couple of days before you get to play the game. I think 2 days. 2 days early access.
When's the game meant to be out? Because like the beta, like a couple of websites are reporting that the website the
22nd they're saying now, but it's still
Yeah.
saying not confirmed. But it's meant to be out next month, isn't it? The next
yeah.
month it's out.
Look, Battlefield 2042. East date. 22nd of October.
Yeah, they're doing 22nd of September now for the beta. That's pre-orders.
Yeah. But
And then 24th, Friday the 24th is the free. Oh, that's banging. If it's Friday, we know what we're doing, boys.
mate, I'm down. I am down to clown with this game. I really am.
Not confirmed.
I hope this game is amazing. Like,
But
really
to be
do.
fair, if that's a perfect month away, so I would probably say yes. But we'll just wait. Hopefully, because the other one was weird because it was going to start the 2-day pre-order beta on a Friday. which was
Yeah.
a bit odd. I would have thought, no, you normally get the free over the weekend because that's when they're going to get most people playing it.
Exactly. Right, boys. I think we've rambled on for a little bit longer than usual. In fact, I think we're at the just over an hour now, hour and 10, hour and 20, something like that. I'm not entirely sure.
Like that.
So
Nice.
it's been an episode where I haven't talked about Final Fantasy. Holy shit.
Oh, he's broken it now.
Yeah, it's done it.
Yeah,
Thought we got away with it, mate.
So boys, Final Fantasy, this is I'm joking, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing
I want us to leave so you can talk about it.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to this point in the podcast, they're like, no, he's finally talking about it.
Oh,
Oh dear.
it's all good.
Right, guys, I appreciate you listening. Thank you all so much. Thank you, boys, for coming along again. We'll be back next week as always. This is a very awkward way of ending because I never plan for these endings. I never do, and then it gets really awkward. Like that, it's like an awkward breakup. It's like, it's not you, it's me. It's not you, it's me.
Why don't you plan for these things, man? Why don't you plan?
Because I'm lazy. Like, you don't get lazy without, like, okay, I didn't even plan for this, for talking about being lazy.
Oh, brilliant.
Right, guys, thank you so much. We obviously check out our Discord. We are obviously, I'm trying to kick that off a little bit, but you know, quite frankly, I am very lazy, so I don't even use my own Discord. So why would you want to join it? Because there's other people, and being part of a community is fucking awesome. And if you guys are there, I'll be there.
Have you Discord?
Yes. Oh dear.
That was a little private joke.
Oh yeah. Anyway, so we have a Discord. So if you want to check us out on there, and other than that, you can catch me on Twitch. Is twitch.tv/5largefries, and that's going to be goodbye from me.
Catch you later on. Oh, flatline out. Oh, sorry, I'm a bit hungover.
Inferno Rouge HD. Hang out with me sometimes. You'll be a legend. Bye.
Yeah, that's going to be it from us, guys. Obviously, check out the lads on Twitch. That is twitch.tv/flatlineplays. It's with a Z and not an S. And it's Inferno Rouge 8D, and it's a smiley face and not a tiny chode.
Oh.
Take care, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Huzzah.
That's
I get for drinking. That's what I get for drinking, mate.
All you were doing yesterday, all you had was beer burps.
Yeah, honestly, on stream, it was so bad, wasn't it? It was constant, like, fucking burps. I couldn't stop. Still got hiccups.
Right.
Save me.
Start it so then, like, you can bugger off and chill.
You know, you get rid of your hiccups and look in the mirror flat. That's scary.
It doesn't, mate. I've tried though. It
Alright.
doesn't. You think it would?
The next thing is you gotta look in the mirror naked.
Oh no, because
no, they just go moist.
as I say, I broke mirrors that way, mate.
Oh, dude.
I know, instantly, mate. The amount of fucking purity inside me just shatters the glass.
Fuck off.
Like, honestly, mate, I see like a godly ray appear behind me, like God rays, and then it's gone.
You get your little fucking tune.
It's something like Halo. Oh, when the shit breaks.
I like how he did. I like how we did actually do a proper tune just so we don't get done for fucking copyright.
Yeah.
It's like the Halo theme. It's like, ooh, and then they look at you. Ah! Oh, sorry, Flat. I don't mean to roast you.
It's fucking there.
It's alright, mate. I can't even speak.
Nice to meet you.
I was just pissing by the window.
What did you do, the taxi driver? What are you looking at?